Welcome, YouTubers. Gonna be having some great information regarding eating raw liver today. July 19th, 2019. It's wrapped up, and that was something I want to talk about when you eat it raw. My best way of having this raw is to just let it be partially thawed, not completely. It's like a massive difference in taste. You just fold your pie plate like that, and then underneath it like that, a liversicle, like an icicle, and you could just barely cut it with a knife, and you just bite through, and it's easy to chew through this way. I like the taste a lot. This is beef liver, and it's really good this way. What's interesting is not all liver is the same. It boils down to what the animals are being fed. For instance, you got like organic farms here in Maine, and it's, you know, say organic even, but what's really crucial to having like a healthy liver without all the toxic cadmium and mercury that wild animals drink in the surface water of lakes, ponds, streams, is that for the because of the cadmium mercury it accumulates. It'd be the same like us. If we drink the surface water, our organs would look unhealthy too, the liver and everything. So by doing this and buying from a source where, like, say for cows for instance, when they're fed their native natural food like grass fed and whatever else special foods they eat, it's and the most neglected thing is to have the cows or whatever farm animal, and you're critical and wanting the best liver organ meats. They ought to be drinking artesian well water, unless they're like by the glacial areas like in Alaska or any other country worldwide. That would help tremendously. Like for wild animals, the same situation. They got to be in a good area. Here in Maine, there's a lot of cadmium and mercury with the wild animals, especially the moose liver. Usually they end up throwing it out. You know, maybe when you get like someone harvests a young moose, it might be okay. But it's really not. You got to really be careful with that. But like, it helps out tremendously. And why I say this is the organ meats, like the liver especially, it's so much easier to chew too when I do this method. I mean, I didn't see anybody on YouTube post it. Partially thaw, just enough. Don't have it completely thaw, because it's all flabby. It's hard to chew through and break off. See, this is easy. Look, chewed right through it. Simple. And it's tasty. I don't like it cooked like ammonia. It's like too strong for me. And you know, liver, I'm not saying I'm right. This is my opinion. But my observations are really good, I believe. And it's really interesting with these organ meats, because I've eaten 200 pounds over that raw and never once got sick. You can freeze it or have them thawed out, but don't thaw them out completely. Just put, like, you use like a fillet knife or something, you could just barely start cutting it to cut through it. Don't let it sit for a half hour where it's all completely thawed, because these thaw out quick because of the vitamins and such in there. I mean, and the other minerals and whatnot, they thaw out fast. That was a piece of ice from this liver. Liversicle. Another nice setup. But yeah, this is my Liversicle. And I gotta like that nice interruption with my battery showing low. I'm gonna have to recharge it. Nothing like it to help you out. Put a nice video up. But no, it's crucial because liver's got high amounts of alpha lipoic acid. It's great like for diabetics to help them. And the vitamin A, it's just so healthy for you. And when you have things raw, there's what's called hydrophilic colloids, meaning water-loving. Anything that's raw, unheated, it's super for your digestive system. You'd have to look into like Pottinger's Cat's book where I read this information. I highly recommend anybody that wants to know about hydrophilic colloids look into it. But another interesting thing regarding liver and the help, like with they used to talk about the Gershon diet, like that was like a cancer treatment. I think there's a book called The Cancer Therapy, like 52 cases of people that had cancer really bad. I'm not sure if it was in the 70s now, early 80s, the years. There was a bunch of patients, and the thing about it is, though, they were saying, well, and they used liver was like the mainstay, raw liver, okay, for cancer and all, mainly that. And the thing was, now, currently, it makes a profound difference, and there's no mention of it again. Like for your health, to boost your immune system, you just can't go any supermarket and it's going to have the same amount of vitamins and minerals in the liver, the organ meats. It's not nowhere near the quality is what you need. You need nutrient-dense quality foods. And that's what in Price's book, Weston A. Price, he's like a guru with nutrition. Back in the 1920s and 30s, he traveled the world for 10 years with his wife, and all special organ meats were highly prized by a lot of places like the Maasai in Africa. They treasured this above anything else. And it tastes, it gives you more for like endurance, the blood when it's raw. You got to experiment though. If you're not used to it and you're not used to eating raw foods, it's not easy really to notice the difference. Myself, I'm like a juvenile diabetic, so I mean I gotta watch everything I do, my emotions, what I eat. I gotta calculate everything. It's insanity, but you can do it. You know, I'm not in a wheelchair like Stephen Hawking was. I mean, he was a phenomenal guy, brilliant, of course, in the space and all, cosmologist and all that, teacher, phenomenal, selling his books and everything. And all he had was a voice box wheelchair, crippled right up with ALS. But so I mean, I don't need no pity for my condition. I've had a resting heart rate before in the mid-30s when I weighed 223 pounds, and that's a type 1 diabetic. I don't need any pity, okay? But I researched like crazy. I've known Weston A. Price's information since I was 23 years old. I'm 49 right now. I do when I was a younger youth for fitness, I used to do a lot of weight training from 14 to 32 years old, and I totally gave up weight training. And I'm not against anybody that is. I wasn't wanting to be a power lifter or a bodybuilder. I watched the UFC fight, and that changed me permanently. You don't have to be weight training to be fit. My grandfather told me this when I was 14 years old, but I was too ignorant. You got to try both ways, see what works for you. And I didn't do that at the time until I was 32, until now. All I do now is a lot of calisthenics, push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, handstand push-ups, rope skipping, running, cycling. I'd rather do all that. and I got bigger body-wise size and looked like a bodybuilder without even doing weights, any kind of weights. I did a lot of isometrics, you know, lean against the wall chair, whatever. There's certain names of these exercises, hold your position. And I was doing a crazy amount of jump rope skipping. An excellent read was Buddy Lee's jump rope training book. I highly recommend it. And I used to document, I write everything down. I have like 7, 8 notebooks since 2003 until now. And I might have missed 2 years due to injuries, but I'd just like to inspire people. I mean, anybody. I'm a type 1 diabetic. It's much harder to control than type 2. And you just feel phenomenal when you eat good. You just, you know, the thing is too, though, and I realize this, is insulin is a hormone. And maybe that's why I got a lot bigger. But like in high school, I only weighed like 180, not even 175 when I was a senior in high school. I didn't compete with anything. I really wasn't as much. I was just focused like on weight training. I knew Joe Wieters, took the shakes, all that crap, but I got sick of all that. It's like a bunch of hogwash to me when I changed over by reading up on Weston A. Price, all his research. But the organ meats, though, they helped a lot for my stamina, the blood. I mean, it works phenomenal. It really tastes good. It's not disgusting this way. And I like it. It melts quick. I mean, you got to eat it up fast. You can't let it, you know. If it's all flabby, how are you going to chew through it? Unless your teeth are like razors. But this way, it bites right off. So, yeah, but you could gain so much knowledge from with these organ meats, because if they got spots, you cut through them like a wild animal that you hunted. Looks nasty. They could have cirrhosis or something serious with the organ meat, so you don't eat it. Slice through it, and it's all clean. Throw it in the freezer, then take it out. It'll thaw fast. I mean, probably 15-20 minutes will be thawed flabby. And there's special the fat, the special food that they've been feeding is what makes this stuff thaw out so quick. And then revert to, again, in Weston A. Price's book about it. It's just got so many beneficial minerals and things. I mean, alpha lipoic acid, that actually kills. It could save you from poisoning mushrooms. Mushroom poisoning. I mean, you got to eat a huge amount of it. It might be able to save your life. I mean, that's not verifiable, but I did read some stuff on it. But yeah, what's crucial then would be the water, what they're drinking, what they're being fed. I need to tell you something. What happened to me, and not all organic stuff's going to be superior either, like say farm animals for organ meats. Why I say this, I went to a sheep farm, or it was a lamb. Yeah, lamb rather. Place here in Maine. I'm not going to mention who or whatever. They didn't know. It was all grain fed, and it was in like a confined area where there was nothing really healthy for them to eat. They were just fattening them up on grain. I took that out, that liver, that off that animal. Took it out of the freezer. Opened the bag. It was so strong, like ammonia, and this is raw. I go, there's no way am I going to eat that. I could smell it. It smelled horrendous. Well, I was never so sick in my life. For one day, I took a few bites. I go, I better spit it out. Oh no, it's organic. I'll be okay. No, I felt horrible. I didn't go to the hospital. I should have, probably. But I managed to get through it. And it smelled just so bad, so strong. I mean, I opened the plastic. It was frozen. Took a whiff. Oh, man. This is nothing. I mean, nothing strong. You know, there's nothing. But that makes a huge difference. But with the drinking for water, you think about it. You go to somewhere, farm, and they got open surface water. And that's all they're drinking. But I mean, that's all they got, say, right? But just be aware of it, depending on your state, because the pollution levels will all be different. And I'm not recommending to tell anybody. I'm not taking responsibility for someone getting sick. But just to give them more insight about organ meats, the differential way of noticing what's a healthier organ meat compared to an unhealthy one. So if you even went to an organic farm, they're loaded full of grain, you know, fatten up or whatever reason. They don't feed them any other natural native food. That messes up the fat composition of the organs or the meat, and it's unhealthy. And I found that out. I thought, I'm not going to get sick. This is organic. No, I didn't. I almost puked and stuff, but I didn't. But this one place I've been going to for years, I bought that much liver. Or I had pork liver, beef. Well, this is actually, I'm sorry, it's not a beef, it's goat. It's goat. My friends down the road gave it to me, Gary and Phyllis. Apologize, it's not beef, but it's goat. And they're really on top of that. They have their own organic, well, the goat milk, and they eat their own animals when they're getting older and stuff. And it tastes really good. I mean, I could tell. But I do have the beef. The beef is more gritty for liver. I mean, it's good, but I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, it's really good. I'm taking that back. I'm thinking of the pancreas because I had that stuff raw too. But no, if you look up into reading up about Weston A. Price and then Francis M. Pottinger, Pottinger's Cats, it's a phenomenal read. It talks all about the hydrophilic colloids, eating raw food. We need them. Water loving for digestion. I never had a problem. Well, see how easy? You just chew through it. I mean, you feel good right away. And it's good for anemia. If you got, you know, anemic, your hematocrit level's low on your blood work. This is phenomenal. And then plus you get better stamina. When it's raw, you gotta try for yourself. I'm a stranger. I ain't trying to sell nothing. Just save people the time having to go through all the aggravation, you know. Oh yeah, someone tells you, go eat some raw liver. We have like Hannaford's here, a food market for common, open to the public. It's non-organic. That stuff is not the same, the organ meats. And that's like any other food store here in Maine. That's for the public, and it's not organic. It doesn't have to be, because wild animals, they eat their normal native food. But, like moose, you know, they harbor a lot of cadmium and mercury. And you know, since you're going to get sick eating that, you don't want that in your system. But if it's a young moose, see, I don't like to do some microscope testing to see, you know, what's the levels when they're young. The animal for a moose, for instance, is important. Well, I hope you folks like this video. Like, subscribe, share. I'm going to have a bunch of more interesting videos to talk about. Inspirational, help people if they got a serious condition like myself. Juvenile diabetic, but damn, man, Lance Armstrong, my heart rate was almost as low as his. And I weighed 223 pounds. Right now, I'm not even that. I'm like 185. Usually I'm 190. But I mean, maybe the insulin, the hormone, but I mean, I was training like a fiend. I felt like Superman. I want to do MMA. However, I have cataracts in my eye, my lenses. It's fake plastic. You get punched in the face and in your eye, they'll bust up your eye. And the doctor said you shouldn't do it. So, I mean, I was wanting to do that. I was wanting to show I'm gonna, with a wrist monitor, a heart rate monitor watch to show people. And I didn't even have one. I didn't even know how to use these phones when my heart rate was low like this. I had to ask my sister's daughter. She was only like 10 years old, not even. And here I am, I was like 45, 46, never saw a smartphone, had no clue. Well, anyways, yeah, that rambled off a little bit, but if you're looking for a healthy liver, you know, if you could get wild, of course. And then check your state to also see, like here in Maine, they harbor a lot of cadmium and mercury in the organ meats, the liver especially. But that might not be the case out west, Montana, wherever, high up in the mountains, or Alaska especially. That's not going to be the same situation. The organ meats will be clean as could be. You know, you drink the damn water in some of these springs and stuff, you know, right from the spring without getting sick or anything. If you're in ground like that, then you ought to have all the liver you want and raw. And this is the best way, honest to God. Easy to chew through, and you feel good right away. Your digestion. Try it. Let me know what you think. Comment below. Adios. Have a great one.